Today, as was stated, is Ascension Sunday. And this is a tough part of our faith to really understand. So today will involve no amusing stories or real-world examples. Today, we just need to take a few minutes to really understand what this day is really all about. That's the best use of our time today. Because after all, the Ascension is in the Creed. Therefore, it's important enough to at least partially define our faith. So, the first reading that we heard today was pretty much an account of what happened from the perspective of the apostles. Jesus told them not to leave Jerusalem, that the Holy Spirit would come down to them, and he ended with the statement that none of them would ever know the future or the way that God would continue to be present in the world. They'll have their mission, true enough, but they had to go about that mission with faith that it's worthwhile. They didn't get to know the results or the conclusion of that mission beforehand. That would be cheating. Another good thing that we have to remember right now is all of this is happening after Jesus' resurrection from the dead. Okay? Which means the disciples, they were not feeling hopeless right now. They felt hopeless after he died on the cross. They thought he was dead and staying in there. But then Jesus was resurrected on the third day and visited them and talked to them. And so at this point, the disciples are not feeling hopeless, but they're pretty confused. They don't really understand what's going on. They don't know what's going to happen next. They're unsure of the future. So then, Jesus returns to heaven with a couple of angels to clearly tell the apostles that he's gone back to the Father. So what is Ascension Sunday all about? It is Jesus returning to the Father after his resurrection because he couldn't hang out with the apostles forever. He couldn't do it forever. There had to come a point where Jesus lets them carry on in his name on their own. Okay. That is the simplest way to understand Ascension Sunday. Jesus was saying goodbye to the apostles with love for their own sake, for their own good. Now, there is one more thing that we should understand about the Ascension. I wouldn't consider this basic, but it might be the most important detail of all when it comes to the resurrection and ascension of Jesus. In the gospel, Jesus ascends to heaven, and then, and I quote from the Gospel of Luke, they did him homage, and they returned to Jerusalem with great joy. And they were continually in the temple praising God. Why? Why were the apostles so happy? Because after all, Jesus was saying goodbye for the last time. I mean, wouldn't they be sad? Wouldn't that be bittersweet at the very least? That is certainly what common sense would tell us, because goodbyes are always sad. We're sad at funerals because we have lost someone. Even though that we know that they're safe and that Jesus is with them and they're looking down upon us and that we shall see them one day in heaven, we're still sad because we have lost someone as we knew them. When people move away, when they get too busy to spend time with us, we are sad because we miss the people that are in our lives. So what makes the apostles so different in this gospel reading? Why are they rejoicing at the end of the reading? Well, this is just one of those times where you really need to understand that Jesus is not an ordinary person. This is why I say it's not a basic lesson. He was also fully God, fully divine. So when Jesus ascended to the Father, he didn't leave us behind like other people do. Because all of us have limitations, all of us.